Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff the Maniac here with a 7 Days to Die video for you. This is talking about Alpha 18, which will be released on October 7th, Monday, hopefully, if everything goes as planned. And the streaming weekend actually begins tomorrow on October 4th, so be sure to check that out as well. Now, the only reason I'm doing this video is because the last time I made a 7 Days to Die video was back in November of 2018, talking about the Alpha 17 release date finally being confirmed after over a year, and here we are a year later and another major update. But I figured let's make another video about it. I didn't really play much of Alpha 16 because of the turrets. The electricity just wasn't as cool as I thought it would be in 7 Days to Die. In Alpha 17, they changed the map sizes and everything, and I was helping Skippy0330 run his servers, so it just wasn't as exciting with the smaller map sizes, and we ended up actually shutting down the server a few months ago. But I'm hoping this update brings a lot of players back, brings a lot of modders back, and hopefully we can get a server up and running again. But anyways, onto the changelog. I'm going to be posting the links to these in the description below, so be sure to check those out, or I might pin them in a comment as well. Now, the first thing they changed was a big thing, in my opinion, was the XP earnings and balance. Back in Alpha 17, you had to kill a bunch of zombies to actually earn any amount of XP that be able to put into your tributes and everything. And it took forever, and it only tailored to that one playstyle of a person who likes to go out, kill. I'm like one of those people that was one of those people, but I still didn't enjoy it as much because it just made you have to do that in order to level up at all. And they changed it for Alpha 17, where you're going to be getting XP for killing zombies, completing quests, harvesting resources, mining blocks, and upgrading. So they're trying to expand it to where it works with everybody. So if you want to go into 7 Days to Die and build, you can do that while earning XP as well. Cause I know a lot of people like the building aspects of 7 Days with the physics and blocks falling and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, I'm not too sure how I feel about the next part, which is stamina balance. People were complaining that stamina was running out too quickly and made everything a chore to do, like chop down trees, build, craft stuff, punch stuff. I don't know, whatever uses stamina. But they say they reduce the stamina cost, and a new player can go harvesting resources and not be interrupted with low stamina alerts. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. Now, this is just my opinion, but I know it's a video game, but if you wake up in the middle of nowhere one day and there's a zombie apocalypse starting, you're not going to get up and be like all cheery and I'm going to go chop down a tree in 5 seconds. It's just not happening. So I don't really know how much I don't really agree with it. I feel like it could be a perk or something you work towards to build up more. I think that's how it was in the past. But we'll see how it goes, because I like to have somewhat of a challenge in certain areas, and other areas not have such a hassle, like with some of the attributes and perks, opening up new building slots and stuff. I like the idea of how it used to be with books learning to build stuff. But you know, we will see how it goes. And it says stamina costs have been reduced, but power attacks still have a hefty cost. But you will also get a reward for that. Armor perks and mods now reduce stamina and movement penalties as well. So I mean, I guess that kind of does balance it out, where you're waking up and you're kind of having more stamina, but you start putting clothes on, you start putting armor and stuff on, that it will reduce your stamina because obviously the stuff is heavy. But like I said, we shall see how it goes. Alright, now we are on to optimizations. Apparently they made a lot of improvements over Alpha 17 and 16 that they had feedback from. Now, I remember hearing a lot about Alpha 17 was that people were having lag issues, frame rates, and it felt like you needed like a OP system in order to run 7 Days to Die. One thing they introduce is an occlusion system. Now, to sum up an occlusion system from what I think it is, if I'm completely wrong, let me know in the comments in the comments section. But what it sounds like is they added like a render distance, almost like to have certain chunks open. I think it's almost like Minecraft. In Minecraft, if you go into video settings, you can have it open a few chunks at a time, so you don't see anything out of your reach, out of the whatever your view distance is. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is, and it definitely does increase frame rates because all those areas aren't loaded in, and you only have certain areas loaded in that are close to you. So I'm really liking that. Also, they it looks like they updated Unity 2019, taking advantage of their new modes they put in, and they're just adding a bunch of different stuff like detail reduction, entity ticking. AI has a new controller that uses less CPU, so they're really trying to optimize the game to run better on most systems. Obviously, if you spend only a few $100 on your PC and it's not meant for gaming, you're probably not going to be able to run the game, but you can optimize it and try to get the right video settings, get the right shader settings to make it run as smooth as possible. That's one thing they mentioned right here is if you can run Call of Duty at 4K, odds are you might not be able to run 7 Days to Die at 4K because Call of Duty just kind of like has everything set. It's hard to explain. Like everything's static, I guess, if that's the right word. In 7 Days to Die, everything you can change the environment. You can destroy buildings. You can destroy blocks. Everything is customizable because it's an actual sandbox game. So yeah, it's like an I don't want to say it's an advanced Minecraft, but you're not going to be able to run it the same as another game that you might be able to optimize. So yeah, play around with the settings, see what you can do, and try to optimize it as best as you can for your system. Alright, next, I'm really happy with this zombie balance. That was a huge issue in Alpha 17. When I was on Skippy's server, just helping people around, I'd go inside a building, just seeing what's going on inside the building. People were complaining, and I went inside this one building. There was like 40 sleeping zombies in the building, and I think that's actually when I was just exploring and playing just by myself on the server and exploring the area. I went inside the building. There was 40 freaking zombies on in the building sleeping, and I died a few times just trying to get out of there. I had to parkour over furniture and everything just to get around them, but it was crazy. So they reduced the population of zombies so players can explore more, and they also grouped up, or I'm sorry, not grouped. They made smaller POIs, so the area is not as threatening to explore, and the chances of only a few zombies are more appealing in a smaller POIs because there's obviously not that big of a spawning area for them. Alright, now we're getting into a little bit more stuff of here are gameplay changes. They have item changes. All item crafting is now governed by the perk tree it's affected by. So rather than intellect and controlling the quality of a shotgun you crafted, it's governed by the boomstick perk. Players can craft up to blue quality, faulty, and poor quality items have 1 mod slot. Fair and good quality items have 2 mod slots. Great quality items have 3 mod slots. And fine quality items have 4 mod slots. Items scrapped to parts like shotguns, light armor parts, etc. and are crafted from them. Higher quality items require more parts and materials to craft. For example, a crude shotgun requires 3 shotgun parts, but a gray shotgun requires 15 parts. Now the thing with this is, that's one thing I never really did in 7 Days to Die. I never really crafted mods for my guns. I forgot when I don't know if they always had that in, but I know I never used them in Alpha 16, Alpha 17. I don't even think I used it in Alpha 15. Whatever gun I just picked up, that's the gun I had. Whatever gun I made, that's what I had as well. So maybe I'll look into this more when the game actually releases on Monday. Schematics. We've added classic item schematics to the game that permanently teach player how to craft specific items and sometimes an entire group of items. There are hundreds of schematics to find, so you don't want to spend perks and intellect to find schematics. Right here they also mention armor changes again. So cloth armor, you will not lose any stamina for wearing, and it does offer pretty decent protection for early game. But obviously medium armor is better, and then heavy armor is the best for protecting yourself, but it comes at the heaviest penalties. Like, I don't know, I'm curious to see how much stamina it actually takes away and how much it affects you. So it's going to be interesting to see. And it says armor reduces the chances for bleeding and stun, which is pretty cool as well. And they also talk encumbrance. They removed it in early games, so it's more forgiving, and there are also more pocket pods, so you can craft for clothing to reduce encumbrance very early game. It is possible to have 0 encumbrance with no pack mule perks now. You have to get the right gear. So they pretty much made early game super easy from the sounds of it, which is good because a lot of players are learning the game and they really don't know what's going on. But that's what is part of the game too, because you're learning and it's cool to take on a new environment. But like I said, we'll see how we go. Now let's move on to death loops. This is something I definitely did hear about. I also want to apologize if it's a little weird with me cutting back and forth, because I'm pretty much looking at the screenshot and trying to do the voiceover at the same time. So excuse me, I'm not used to doing something like this. But anyways, there was something I heard about players getting stuck in this death loop. Like, I heard the debuff, or the penalty was pretty bad for dying. Last time you lose stamina, you lose health, you lose your hunger bar, I think it was, or something like that. Unless that's the same as stamina, I cannot remember for the life of me. But they removed that, or they lowered the attributes. And after a player dies during Blood Moon, zombies will no longer know where you are, and stealth rules apply. So you'll be able to sneak back to your base or sneak back outside, try to get your items back. Because that's one thing people are complaining about, it is you die, you obviously want to try to make your way back to your pack, or you're having a bunch of zombies chase after you just because it's still Blood Moon. So it's pretty cool that they took that out and changed that. They lowered the default difficulty from Nomad to Adventure, since Alpha 16 is a little harder with the new zombie rage speed boosting behavior. They changed the AI noise detection system to play sounds and lowered hostile animal noise and sight detection ranges. Some animals now have a chance to flee when damaged in combat. I do like that, because if an animal is getting shot in the head with an arrow, they're obviously not going to stick around and try to go after you some more. Bleeding does less damage per second, and arrow reduces the chances to bleed dramatically. They did melee hit detection and glancing blows. Some gave them feedback about how you should use swing and miss zombies too often. Melee was too binary, hit or miss. To remedy this, as well as make melee feel more impactful, they added a swing arc to detect hits along the path of the weapon. If you miss the crosshairs, you will hit enemies along the arc of the weapon swinging. That is pretty nice, because I know I learned this from Skippy, but I'm someone who became a fan of using the sledgehammer as a melee weapon, so I can't wait to test out the new melee hit detection and the glancing blows. They improved the melee sounds as well. Animal polish, we expanded our animation team and have been kick-ass on polishing and making a first-person animations more fluid, snappy, and satisfying. With this also came new item hide/show, which allows thrown or placed items to be hidden or shown on the right of the frames, things, and the grenades. And C4 and rocks look great as well. So they're doing a lot of polishing, making things look more nicer. They're trying to fix things up through these alphas before they eventually, I know they want to go gold within a year or two, but we'll see if it happens. And yeah, they're trying to make everything looks nicer. Alright, so this one I'm really excited for. They added a new music system. They teamed up with Native Darkness Productions. I'm sorry, I was looking for it in the letter. I remember reading it earlier. And it has over 750 unique combinations of interchangeable loops. So I'm interested to see how the music system works, because I'll admit the music in 7 Days to Die was pretty stale. So I'm interested if they have like different music in the menus. And I'm curious if different music will play during different events, like Blood Moon, leading up to Blood Moon on the 7th day. So that'll be very interesting to see. They also have new infection, dysentery, and stun changes. The new infection system, it's easier to contract infections when you're at low health compared to when you're at 100% infection. Dysentery and food poisoning are non-lethal but easier to contract. All food except can now have a chance to contract food poisoning. Food poisoning causes you to throw up and you lose most of your food if you have consumed. So I think it's pretty much the exact same thing as it has been. Except if you're obviously if you're super healthy at 100%, you're not gonna have as big of a chance at infecting it. And they have a new stun system. Armor greatly reduces the chance of being stunned, which we read earlier with the new armor changes. Now they have HUD. They updated the HUD icons by the looks of it. They overhauled the icons at last to support power of 2 images and created new HD icons for all blocks and items. They are much larger and higher resolution, so I'm interested to see how those look. Here's all the new books and schematics that we talked about. They added a bunch of new schematics and books. If you want to read them over yourself, go ahead and just pause it. These are more of things I like to see while I'm in game and then learn about them then. Obviously, if I need to look up something, I obviously will. So let's move on to the new weapons. Now, here are a bunch of new weapons. Some of these it feels like they should have had in a while ago. Like the batons, baseball bats. They have new sledgehammers, an M60. But yeah, that's all stuff they should have filled in a while ago. You also have new thrown items. Well, not really new thrown items. They made it easier so there's not as much lag when you're trying to throw items on a server. And many throw items have been resized to adjust their collision to make them easier to use. Rocks and snowballs can be thrown much farther, and it's very useful to draw zombies away. They also introduced new terrain blending with Unity to make everything look nicer and provide a higher resolution when you're looking at plateaus and everything. So they're also, like I said before, they're trying to optimize and make everything look very nice. So I can't wait to see how it looks. I only have a 970 graphics card, so I don't know how high of a resolution I'll be able to use, but I will maybe make a video on all of that when the video game finally comes out, just to get a comparison of how it looks compared to last alpha. So they also have a new random world gen. They're just trying to make everything more exciting, so each seed you create will be, as it is, random world. It's kind of hard to understand what they're talking about here, but I guess they try to make it more random, I guess. Maybe I just misread everything, but they're trying to make it more exciting for players that want to keep it fresh and make new worlds. They also reimagined dozens of older locations for their POIs and made a bunch of new locations as well. Here are a list of some of the locations on here. So it looks like they added reflections to the game using reflection probes. So you can see your reflection, and probes now update based on player movement or change to the world instead of all the time, which can give you an increase in FPS. So as we talked about before, increasing FPS, increasing stability. They have AI, animals, and zombie changes. Here are a list of the game's AI changes, including they added a coyote and mountain lions to the game. They added the demolition zombie, where he explodes. He has an explosive charge. Zombies have a new rage mode. There's a chance that when damaging zombies, based on the game difficulty, they will move faster for a short amount of time. This adds more variety to combat. Sense sounds have been returned to the game. The player and the hostile AI investigates a noise. Zombies will now fight bears or wolves that attack them. Zombies can ragdoll when they fall. And sleeper volume triggering was improved. They have vehicle improvisations as well and improvements. Steering, tire rotation, bicycle pedaling, and the gyro rotator can now be seen moving when looking at other players' vehicles. Vehicles fail more accurately, and riders can take falling damage. Damage when colliding with the world is more accurately calculated, and less land claim damage is done. Vehicle UI locking and passcode interaction was improved as well. We're about to be wrapping up here. The last thing I really am going to talk about is mining overhaul. It looks like they have new 3D surface boulders that identify the type of ore that you're going to be mining, and below that will be more of that ore in the ground. And each boulder has a unique look, so they're easy to identify at a distance at what type of ore it is. These boulders are uncommon, so there are still many deposits close to the surface that can only be found by digging. But if you want just to find the ore right away, just look for these boulders. So I feel like that's kind of pretty cool. There's a bunch of server administration and modding support stuff. I'm not really looking into this right now because I don't know if we're going to be doing a server, and I'm not a modder. So if you guys want to look at that, those will be scrolling across the screen, along with any extra changes because they have a lot of changes. So if you want to just see those, just pause it on the screen if you find something that catches your eye. Lastly, here are the list of streamers that will be streaming for the weekend of October 4th, which is tomorrow from the time this video is going out. So hope to see you guys in some of those streams. I will be in Skippy's adminning his chat, or moderating his chat, making sure you guys are all behaving out there. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm looking forward to this. So far with all these changes, I give 7 Days to Die a rating of 4 out of 5 stars for Alpha 18, obviously, and that can change. I'll probably, if you guys want, I'll do another review on my opinions when the game comes out, and or the Alpha 18 comes out, and when I get to playing it, because I'm going to be putting in some hours starting Monday on Alpha 18. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize, it was all screenshots of me trying to explain certain items and things by looking at the screenshots. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to stay in contact or get future updates, make sure you go check out the 7 Days to Die forums and check out their Twitter as well. But anyways, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tried to keep it under 20 minutes. Ended up going a little bit longer. But anyways, catch you guys in the next video. If you like the content, like, subscribe, or comment. And let me know you want to see in the future. Remember to change that world one smile at a time. You never know whose life you can save or change. And peace out.